So we're ready to give a start to High Treason here. I've dealt out hands of 7 cards to each player. This tells us exactly what we need. 7 cards to each player. Prosecution starts, plays 5 cards, and then banks the remaining 2. This is wonderful. Then the defense does the same, and then players get to dismiss, okay? And then we have a little bit more detail here, and we take these off when we enter the next phase. One thing I didn't mention was how awesome these cards are. They shuffle really, really nicely, which is important to me. They're, you know, that poker quality in terms of like slick and, you know they're going to hold up for a while. They're not the armored GMT style, which are really hard to shuffle and kind of chip sometimes. And they're also, but the biggest thing for me is the shape of them. There's just something, I don't know. They're all right. They're larger than normal size. Normally, you're stuck with poker style cards that are shaped like poker cards, or maybe shaped like regular bridge cards. These are wonderful. They give a lot of room for this. They have a nice feel and heft to them. They may annoy me when I'm trying to deal with a hand of them, though. We'll see. All right. So we're going to look at the prosecution's cards, and we look at all the cards because we have to decide basically which 2 we want to bank. That's probably the most important thing at this point. And I need to light my... Oh, we got one of the optional. See, they say what if on them. Oh, we got more than one. Uh-oh. This one is useless in summary. It gives 3 actions, but actions can't be used. The only thing I can use is reveal or peek capabilities from the jury selection, according to this. So let's see. Jury selection, I can hold on to this and remove all trait and sway markers from any juror, draw new ones randomly, and then place them face down on the juror, draw a new card, and play 1 more card this round. So I probably want to do this round. Then I'll get it back in the deck, which might be iffy. But if I bank this, it's just 2 sway markers, which is nothing. That's the normal. Okay. Neutral witness. I can peek at 3 religion markers. Anything in summation I really want to do? Yeah, you know, those are nice. I don't know. I don't know. It's 3 actions. That could be good. No, summation, I think you're limited to 2 actions no matter what. Okay, reveal 2 occupation or 3 language. That's possible. If I hold that for summation, it's farmer. Okay, this is all stuff that's bad. So I definitely want to play this. I definitely want to play this. This one I'm not sure about. Yep. This one, reveal stuff. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Summation. Add to each of any 3 aspects except the French. Well, I don't know, maybe. Again, it's not really clear. A whole bunch of language markers or a couple religion markers. This is 1 to all 4 elements. So this is a slightly richer card than this one. For actions, it's the same, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. We got 3 of the what ifs, great. I shuffled, man, I shuffled. I really did, I shuffled a lot. Okay, reveals, but increase guilty and add. That's pretty decent, honestly. Being able to increase guilty could be incredibly important. Here, also increase guilty and place sway markers on unlocked jurors. Again, I'm tempted for these. While these increase aspects, oh, I don't know, this one? Yeah. Well, these increase a lot of aspects, and that could multiply across a bunch of jurors. The guilty places sway markers on unlocked jurors, and I absolutely need guilty verdicts at the end. And I have additional values to them. So I think I'm going to bury these two in my summation. I'm going to hold this one, right? No, I'm going to hold this one because I want to know things before I play it. So we'll start with this. And let's start looking. Language, religion, occupation, religion, peek at 3 religion, occupation or more language. Now, the game gives suggestions as to what is more important to different players. So let's see. I'm trying to remember where it is. There was something that tells you, hey, as the prosecutor, you're more interested in these things because your opponent can gain off them. That may be the religion in particular, but maybe language as well. But we'll take a look. See, what's weird to me is if you look at this one, the English, because the English tradition is innocent before proven guilty, or until proven guilty, as opposed to the French Napoleonic tradition, which is guilty, well, really everything except English law, but Napoleon's code made it formal once again, which is that the party has to prove their own innocence, really, which is an interesting facet, and I'd like to find that aspect where it says, because, you know, my gut feeling would be, well, Francophones would be in favor of him, but the tradition of the two languages is a little different. So let me back off and see if I can find it not in real time. We have this. The prosecution events tend to sway English-speaking Protestant merchants and government workers, whose opinions are easier to define. The defense usually persuade French-speaking Catholic farmers whose views are somewhat difficult to determine. And I think that may be the one that I'm looking at here. So language may start off with an edge for the prosecution, but they're going to have a bias towards towards this half-French trapper family. Okay. But on the other hand, if I look, hey, 3 language, 3 occupation, 3 religion, 4 language, or 2 religion. We want to hold our peak until later, I guess. That's all religion. See, we have a lot of language here, though. But let's go with 4 language first. And this is pure reveal. Language is green. We're most interested in the top. I don't know. We may be very interested in the religious capabilities of the top few. So let's go for a language here. We've got 3 of them, right? 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I don't know how much good that did me. And the fact that I have to go first. Yeah. Okay, here I've got 3 more language. Here I've got 3 occupations. Let's go here. That's a government worker, I believe. We like those. 2, that's a farmer. We don't like farmers. And 3, we'll go here, another farmer. Okay. We do that. Let's look at the 3 religions across here. This is just peeking at them. So we got a Catholic. We probably don't want Catholics. They're going to, A, initially tend more towards innocence, the mercy of the church and whatnot, and B, we got less control over them. A Protestant and a Protestant. Okay, that's kind of nice to know. So, right now, we're allowed to kill 3. And if we had to choose, we'd be hard-pressed. We might pick some of these Francophones. We might pick some of these farmers. We'll probably aim for him. I got either 3 language or 2 occupations. Occupations, 2 out of the 3 kind of favor us, so we're less interested in that. Plus we found some. So let's look at language. What languages are we interested in? We're allowed 3 of them. Oh, we did this. We'll take 1, 2. I'm going to pick this one. Okay, so we know that's an English Catholic. Interesting. That kind of mixes things up a little bit. All right. Well, we've played the jury selection for the prosecution. Now it's time to look at the defense's choices. And first of all, do we have any what-ifs? Just curious how much they're going to affect the game. So far they had a big effect, but you know, they were just used for reveals, right? Not for their final effect. Okay, so let's look at what the summation can do. This has a lot of modifications to everything. This has modification to insanity. That's interesting. However, this gives me a peek at 2. Or reveal 3. Oh, 2 or 1. This is less interesting, I think. Reveal 2, occupation 2, religion. Okay, this increases a couple. Farmer and Catholic I could move in, but in opposite direction to the Protestant aspect, which weakens this modification a little bit. It still seems like it's a stronger card than these, I guess. Because I've got 3 choices on this one, I think. That's with the line delineation. Reveal 3 occupations or 3 language. Okay, shift to the government and to the merchant. Well, we definitely don't want to bank this. This sucks. So, over to here. So far, this is the one we're most interested in. This one, we're just not going to do. Objection. Defense can play it to cancel a prosecution events during the summation. That's nice. On the other hand, we'd be giving up a trial in chief objection. I don't know which is more. 5, sway on unlocked jurors. Remove all sway markers from any juror, even a locked one. So this is iffy. If I play this now, I could peek at 5 traits, and this goes back in the deck, and maybe I get to use it again. I like that better than banking it right now. So I'm going to put that over here. I don't think I want to use the defense attorney as one of my banks. It's a powerful card to bank, though. That's the problem. Prosecution witness. Okay, normal reveals. Modify Catholic support heavily with an opposite in the Protestant. This is similar to that other one we had. We had one here somewhere. This one. But this one changes both farmer and Catholic. Gets me 4 movements for 1. This only gets 3 for 1. I'm going to say this is a weaker version of that and put it deeper down. Not sure yet. So far, this is going to be one banked, I think. Okay. This is a prosecution attorney, which sucks as the defense attorney at this point. I think this one wants to be banked because I get one of these fairly powerful things. It's green. Red is just for the prosecution, but these I can do, and they're fairly potent. So I'm going to bank these two. And relight my pipe. All right, I don't know what happened there. My battery, I got this warning, battery is about to run out, and it's perfectly full. I just swapped batteries when I did the pipe thing, so I don't know. Oh, boy. Occupation or language, occupation or religion. Huh. Like these, I kind of leave them. I don't want to make them more dangerous looking than they are. Let's do 3 occupations. Here's one. Okay, that's a bad man. We don't want him there. Here's 2. He's already Protestant. He's already kind of bad. I don't know. Huh. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't really want to find a third I don't like. Boy. Let's go here, I guess. This is second occupation. He's a farmer. That makes him a little bit more palatable. Third occupation. I hope I'm doing this right and not misremembering. I'll go for the, I want to keep, I'll go for this. Okay, he's not a good man. I don't like him. Okay, now I have either occupation or religion, and religion. Okay. And religion. Now, I have a total of 6 peaks. I want to peek at this. Oh, I like him. I don't care about that. I want to peek at this. That's 2. I don't like him. I got a lot I don't like. This is third peak. I don't like that. Fourth peak. I'm not going to dismiss any of these, no matter what. I'm at fourth peak, huh? Let's keep looking. Fifth peak. Do I care? Yeah, I care. Oh, maybe I keep him. Got one more peak. I don't like him. Let me see what this was. I peek at this. Not thrilled about that either. And that's all my peaks. That gets rid of these 2 cards. We try not to knock the counters out of the way by doing that. And now we're going to reshuffle the deck. Both players get 7 cards, and then we're going to be alternating in the main part of the trial. I think I'm going to take a break here, because it seems like a good time. Here we are at the first part of the trial itself. And I like to consider this We'll see how well that works when playing the cards. But I want to consider it as the prosecution bringing their case, more or less. Now, the prosecution is going to play a card, then the defense plays a card, then the prosecution, then the defense, etc., pending any interrupts. And let's just check to see if we have any. We have a defense testimony. That won't do it. We have a prosecution attorney in the main trial. The objection would only be allowed from the prosecution, so I don't have to play that here, but we have a defense attorney sitting here. Now, he doesn't know this is there, and everything else is here. So I'm going to keep this face up to remind me, if I don't like what's happening, I can object and cancel out an event only. For the prosecution, though, I want to look. Well, I have a defense attorney. I do have a prosecution attorney in hand, which I probably want to hold on to for that objection capability. It's going to be a powerful card no matter what. I may not want to bank it, although it's a strong card to bank. I can use it to object during the summation, and it also gives me a fairly powerful capabilities. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, like I did before, I want to pick what my two cards are that I want to hold. I'm not forced to hold those. And unlike before, I may have reaction capabilities that I want to do. But to me, the summation is more important than whatever I do at this early stage in the trial. The defense attorney card is fairly powerful. That is a definite candidate for me to put in my bank. This looks interesting. Adds each government in English, modifies farmer down. So I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4 in my favor, make it 3 in my favor off of that. But this gives me 4. Again, I'm not so sure how much that... Oh, we didn't can the... Oh, shit. All right, let's not look at these. I forgot to can people. Oops. All right. Well. Prosecution gets first dismissal, and I'll ignore what I just saw. Although I do have these, and could possibly think about them. They're not going to be impacted by this. Okay. So what do I not like? Well, I don't like Catholic, maybe French, and definitely farmers. So I looked down the list, and I got a Protestant farmer with 3 deliberations, and I don't know what this is, but he does. That might be a candidate for elimination, but not really high up on getting rid of that. Let's keep looking. The 2s, you know, Catholic, yeah, maybe. This one, he sees 2 of them. Again, maybe I don't want to make that decision right away. I keep working my way through, and I've really got no one that I just outright dislike. He's got 2 views on this. I am going to get rid of that. Now, he's going to peek at him, see what he just lost. He lost a Protestant and merchant. Okay. So those go like that. I'm going to keep them like that to remind me. And this juror is gone. 2 deliberation actions. He was showing something I didn't like, and my opposition player was holding 2 pieces of knowledge about him. Now, I might have just canned something that he would have canned. I don't know that. What are his abilities here? Summation, he has an objection and lots of power, and some insanity. none of that really affects things. So now I'm going to be looking at the line. And I'm really interested in these things here. That's a farmer. I don't necessarily want to kill that. I don't necessarily want to kill that. This guy's kind of iffy, but okay. Protestant farmer, Francophone. Not going to get rid of him. This guy doesn't look good. I don't like him. I don't like him. Well, I'll get rid of this one. And we know nothing about him. All right. It's 2 down. Back to the prosecution. This is sort of a mixed bag. Catholics and British and who knows. Protestant British, I want that. Protestant French, or Protestant farmer, he knows something. I'm going to hold off on that. French, he knows something. So this is where I kind of am. Do I want to get rid of a Francophone that he knows something about? Or do I want to get rid of a farmer, or a Francophone or whatever, but the farmer who nobody knows anything about? I'm going to target this guy because it's worth 2 deliberation points. This might be a mistake again. Let's see what he knew. He knew that it was a banker or a commerce person, which kind of equaled out that. Go back here. Now he's got tons he doesn't like. He's going to kill this one. British government worker, religion unknown, gone. We're at 2 left. All right, what's our situation? We are looking at a Protestant farmer he knows something about. Things that, this is all good for me except he knows something. This is mixed and he knows something. Since he didn't kill any of these, I'm kind of assuming that these are all good. So I'm going to get rid of this. Now we're going to peek. Yeah, it's French. And now, for the last dismissal, how does he feel? He's got a farmer there. He's got a farmer there. I feel like I've got mixes there that are kind of good. Catholic government. Yet I'm kind of happy with all of these. See, Catholic is in my favor. Government is not. Farmer, Francophone. Catholic English. And these 2 are farmers. If I can focus on improving farm, and I haven't really paid attention to those cards, I would get a lot of conjunction with all of these. That makes this one an interesting kill, because I know it's not a farmer. These 2, I'm going to kill him. And we know nothing about what I just got rid of. Well, we know nothing about the one hidden thing about him. All right, so we've got 2 with 3 deliberation points and 4 with only 1. So we've got a couple of strong personalities to try to influence. Now I go back here to what I was doing. And I don't remember what the hell I was doing. Of course not. Prosecution attorney, I wanted to hold, maybe not until one of the 2 cards that I bank, but let's look what else we've got here. Defense attorney, I said I want to probably bank that. Is it powerful? Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not a bad card. So it's kind of in this, hey, maybe I do play it because I need that power. All right. This is kind of a nice thing. It gives me that insight. What does insight let me do? Insight lets me peek at things that are interesting. Randomly reveal an opponent's face-down plea card, or exchange one of your plea cards with a card in your hand, which would be useful if I had bad plea cards, but I have good ones here, so I don't really want to throw that away, but I could peek. This is 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. This becomes a little bit more valuable to bank, I think. English and Protestant. Let's look. There's a lot of English. I don't know that much. There's 1 out of 3 that are Protestant, so that may not be too valuable. English and Protestant at 4 again. This is basically the same kind of card, except I could peek at 2 religions and get an insight. I like this better, but Insanity's already at 0, so I don't really want to play that yet. This one was powerful, and I might want to bank. 2 for Prosecution on the French aspect. We got 1 French. He has no knowledge. Doesn't sound very powerful. I like this, actually. This might be the card I play. Okay. And this one's similar, but this one gives 2 Prosecution to the English aspect, which might be more valuable to bank. But on the other hand, guilties are really, really good. So I'm going to play a Prosecution Witness. Now, he has the chance to fire his defense attorney off and say, I object. Peter Tompkins lived at Duck Lake and had gone to repair the telegraph line that had been cut when he was arrested by the Metis. He overheard Riel say, what was Carleton or what was Prince Albert? They're nothing. March on, my brave army. That doesn't sound too damning. Well, I could use this to look at all unrevealed language. That's 2. I think I want the guilt. So I'm going to take a guilt, and I get to increase an aspect. Which aspect am I most interested in? And again, these don't affect sway. I would have to use actions to affect sway. So, that's another thing, is this card has 4 actions. I could play that instead. All my others are just 2s, which aren't that interesting. But I want to play this for the event, which allows for the defense attorney, because I want to get the guilt up, and that's hard to move. What aspect am I most interested in? Well, looking at the board and what I know, English is important. I'm worried about Farmer. I really am, because he left both of these out there, which might make Farmer even more important. Am I going to get suckered that way? I'll say on a 1 or a 2, I'll go for Farmer. Otherwise, I go for English. All right. So I'm going to move the English system forward there, and that plays this card. That's him. Now we make the same kind of assessment over here. And I feel like I have to do every play in this game. I think I had to do the same in Corrupt Bargain. I don't like having to do that on video, but it does actually make, it is an indication of that very intertangled, reactive play. It's not looking for not finding the word I want. Okay. So I have a prosecution attorney. Again, ooh, he's only worth 2 actions. This one's worth 5. Damn. Damn. Some of these are not equally balanced. Okay. Let's take a look. Hey, I have a couple of 3-action guys. That's very appealing. What can I do with actions? Standard actions are sways, moving markers. So, for example, on this one, guilty is hard to move, which is why I chose to do this. But instead of doing that, or the other event, I could have played 2 actions and, filled up some aspects or something in my favor. So let's look at these. And I'm pretty sure events don't impact they don't impact these, I think. Let me make sure of that. Sway a juror, argue an aspect. Do we have the event? Events, page 11. When you play a card, implement the trial. Many trial cards have more than one event. If the event allows you to move markers, you do not play sway markers. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're allowed to play them if the sway markers are filled up, which is an issue there. All right. So this is worth 3. It's only worth 2 here, so this is kind of appealing to me as it stands. Now, in the summation, it's worth less. But this is bad. This is just a terrible card. It's a prosecution witness. I don't want that. Which means maybe what I want to do, well, let's keep looking. This is another prosecution witness. It's not going to be good events for me, but I can use the actions from it. And it's not going to be good for me in summation either. Both religion aspects in a direction of my choice. More powerful here. This is a very good card. I may want to play this right now. Bonuses for insanity, but lots of bonuses for the defense on various traits or whatever. And here the French and both religion. Ooh. But insanity in both religion. Oh, good Lord. These are both sweet. Okay. We don't have a lot of French. These are both 3 actions. Do I want to look, But looking means giving up information that I have, that I mean, if I look, I give up power that I have. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to increase insanity and both religion in my favor. So I find my religions and I pump them both down. And again, I had a prosecution attorney I could throw in and say, yeah, no, that's not fair. Now the danger here is if insanity starts going up higher, it's going to start impacting a lot of things, and I might want to object to that. Just like if guilt starts going up higher, that's going to impact a lot of the later jurors and make them more likely to vote towards conviction. Now, I need to move this here because my battery's running low. Again, I don't have anything that's terribly powerful. I'm going to play this for the guilty and an aspect. I got to decide, do I want to do this? Do I want to bank it? Do I want to use 5 actions? 5 actions is a hell of a lot. Oh. Putting it back in the deck doesn't mean I get another shot at it, though. That's important. In jury selection, I would get another shot for using this card. I get 1 shot at it, no matter where it is. It's just how early it comes up, whether I want to bank it or... I don't really want that guilt going up much more. I kind of like to just stop it. But an objection... Oh, geez. Yeah, let him play it. What aspect does he want to play? Again, I'm going to continue pumping the English language. I'm going to take this off the board so it doesn't confuse me. We're at 5, we're at 6. Well, I could keep pumping the insanity. It's a good defense, man. Yes, I'm using up another one of my 3 action cards. That's painful. But, okay. My defense attorneys my prosecution attorney is only a 3 action one. I don't want that insanity defense. I'm going to blast it and prevent it. I don't get a replacement card for this. And it's back to my turn, which means I'm a card short now. Now remember, I could do a mulligan if I don't like my cards, but I'm okay with them. I don't really like his pushing for insanity there. Of course, I could have held off and used this to reduce instead. Farmer, government. I'm going to play a prosecution, again for guilt and an aspect. I am really tempting him because this is going to create additional sway markers at the end if he doesn't jump this. But he's got this huge defense attorney here. Does he want to blast it or not? I don't know. 1 or 2, he's going to kill it. He's tired of all these guilt. No, he'll let it go. Okay, so more evidence towards guilt and any one aspect. The preponderance of guilt in the English system begins to drive that. Okay, back over here. Now, this card is just useless to me as anything other than as actions. How do I want to use it for actions? Well, one action does a sway, one action sways a juror, no more than 2 per juror. One action can sway one of these. I could mulligan. I have some shit cards, but I don't want to get rid of these. And that's the problem. You have to leave yourself with garbage for the mulligan to work. And that might make sense, is hold on to these as my garbage to put under there. The problem is, though, then I might be putting real garbage under anyway. And that's a tough call. Catholic, Protestant. Well, a 3 action card is not bad. He can't stop me from this. Do I want to sway jurors? Now they say sway opposing jurors if you can. Protestant and English, that's not looking too good right now. Let us sway that twice in my favor. For 3 deliberation points. And I have one more action. I could sway someone else, or I can do this. Now, I could have spent all 3 and moved this twice back. I chose not to. There's nothing that can be done about this from his side, even if he had his prosecution attorney still. I'm down to 1 remaining card to play. If I do the mulligan, I get 2 cards back and they go in here. But I've got some nice cards like this. This is a 4 action card. These are both good for me. I'm going to play my 4 actions from my defense attorney. What do I want to do? Is this bothersome? Maybe. That's 2 actions. I can't put 2 more on him, but that's okay. I don't necessarily want to. Is there anyone I want to sway in the other direction? This guy is more mixed. Would be useful to sway him. It would also, since these give me sway markers on the jurors already, it might be useful for me to play around with the things I'm playing with. So I'm going to put one of these here and push this further. I got 1 more point. I'm going to push the farmers this way. He's done. He's still got 2 cards, possible mulligan, 2 plays. Time to make my decision now. This could be banked or not. It's better right now, but not horrible there. This, I want to bank. It's only 2 actions, so that's one I'm definitely going to bank. An objection at that point might be incredibly valuable. But so are 5 actions. So I'm going to take 2 actions here. I'll move this juror back a little bit. I got 5 more. I'm going to try to lock this juror down. That's 2 more. I have 3 more. That English speaking is now locked down. There's the possibility, though, with an attorney, right, to reopen it. Remove all sway markers on any aspect and then move that aspect 2 in your favor. So it's not absolutely locked down at 3, which is a pretty good number for me to have that at. But he's going to have to use an attorney to turn that around. And that may not be trivial at this point. That gets us to here. And now we're on round 3. Now what you'll see is 2 and 3 are both here. 3 says do not reshuffle. Deal 7 cards, starting with prosecution. And then it is specified here you do bank the cards. That was one of my questions in the rules. I think, are we at the halfway point? See, we've done 1 and 2. Should we do what I'm going to term the defense's side of things? It would be kind of cool if, like, there was some slight advantage for the prosecution on the early side of the deck and some slight advantage for the defense in the later part of the deck, some way to reflect that, just to show that they owned the narrative a little bit better. But that's not always the case. Sometimes cross-examination is more powerful, whatever. What I'm doing, though, is kind of ignoring the, hey, what kind of witness is this that you're using? Whatever, you know, which is okay. I'm focusing more on the points that the arguments are making. Yeah, let's deal this one out, and no shuffle, but I will take a break either way. Before that break, let me just point out a couple of things that I noted while looking online. One is, this game has actually been republished since the VPG, which makes me very happy, because you always have this fear of, is it just sucked into the void because VPG is gone as a company? Apparently the rights to it, whatever, got transferred. Somebody else managed to publish it. The other thing that I didn't mention at all, the other side of the board has a German version of the board. So presumably, there's a German set of rules. You can buy the game in German, and rules and cards would have to be replaced. If you're replacing that much, I'm not sure how much sense it makes to double-side the board cost-wise, but whatever. I'm sure they made that decision in their best interests. I just found it kind of funny because the game is very language-related. And I guess the cards could be, they're enough icon based on the cards that conceivably you might be able to with like a little bit of translation ability, but I'm assuming that given the way things like Game Crafter and such not can put out cards in small batches, that VPG was doing the same, and that basically the only thing that went the same, well, the counter mix would be the same for each game, and the board would be the same. And I mean, cards like this could conceivably have been the same. Although again, there's a little bit of language on them. If you're printing the card set, it probably is the whole set. Anyway, that's just some thinking. Entering into the second hand of cards in the trial, and again, I like to think of it as a defense, but oops, there's my wire for my camera, but it doesn't really match that way, and the designer didn't intend it to. Just makes me happier. I looked through the defense cards. He does not have a defense attorney. He does have the prosecution attorney, I think, which may be a good card. And he also has the scandal again, which will allow him to dismiss a juror. That could be a very, very powerful thing. For example, if the other player had it, he could get rid of this one with all the swaying having happened against him. Okay. But let's start looking, after I relight my pipe, and my life, I hope. Let's start looking at the prosecution cards and try to figure out what he wants to bank and what his overall strategy is going to be. And no, I'm not assuming gender, since they're both male. So this one would give us 2 peaks and an insight. And again, insight lets me bail stuff out of here, which might be useful. I mean, what do I have in there? I don't have anything I really need to pull out. Like, you might use this to pull an attorney card out if you really needed one, or thought you might need one. Banked, though, it's a fairly powerful thing. However, with a penalty on the Protestants. Why he's a prosecution witness? Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't seem particularly prosecution aligned, but he gives 3 actions here. Here's another prosecution witness. Gives me guilty. Oh, I like guilty. On this hand, however, if I banked it, it would give me 3 different movements. But this is likely one I want to play because I like the guilt aspect. Another guilty. This affects all occupations. That would be 3 different movements. I don't have a whole lot of information on occupations. All I know is there's farmers, and he's holding these, which I sort of think means that they're farmers, because this one especially is an iffy character. But I don't know. Here, this is a defense evidence. I probably don't want to play this for me. I may want to play this to start fixing some of the problem here, though, because there's a danger that character may get that juror may get locked. Prosecution witness. Oh, he helps the insanity. That's not a very good prosecution witness. What's up with that? Dr. Willoughby practiced in Saskatchewan. He met Real and testified that Real stated that he wished to divide his country into 7 portions, creating new homelands for the Bavarians, Poles, Italians, Germans, Irish, and Metis. Okay, I don't know how insane that is. It's a little weird, but yeah. This looks like a decent card to bank. It's only 2 actions. I don't want to improve insanity. However, I can have a fairly major impact on other stuff. I'm thinking about banking this for the same kind of reason. Of course, this is going to hurt my Protestant votes. I guess you vote on a jury. But, you know, peeking at language, well, there are 2 languages that I don't know about, which could be useful. And the insight, it just doesn't sound that valuable. But on the other hand, 3 actions is kind of powerful. Okay. Didn't I have somebody? Yeah, this guy. This guy is like all defense all the time. Okay. Prosecution witness. Of course, I could mulligan. I hate giving up a card, though. That's the problem. Here's another guilty. I could get... well, I'm already near the max on guilty. So I don't know how much I want to pump that up. And here, I could peek at 3 religion. There are only 2. Definitely don't want to bank this. It's only 2 actions. This is a pretty iffy card. One that, hey, if I were going to discard things, this is definitely appealing to discard. But again, you lose a card by playing the mulligan. You get 1 card less. So to me, that's an expense. Well, I think I play this. I get rid of 2 of these. That gives me 1 remaining pip, which I cannot play on him. And I can't play it here. I will keep increasing the dislike of the farmers. Now we got to look over here. Now, I already checked to make sure he has no interrupts. Oh, he's got lots of prosecutors, though. Not a good card. This one, not a good card. I'm beginning to feel like Mulligan. This one, peek at any 2 traits. You know, I mean, maybe, but how much does that help me? Judge dismisses a juror. This could be useful if there was somebody I wanted to get rid of. Let's look at where we are. Well, farmers are beginning to look shitty. Otherwise, this is a 3-action card, so that's not too bad in its own. I have the defendant himself, who's worth 5 actions. Instead, I could change his insanity by 1, which could definitely help me. Move each occupation in the direction I wish. And also, I guess, I'm not sure what this is. Oh, this is a continuation. There's a comma here. So I could also move 1 religion and 1 language. Although later, it's not a bad card to bank, but I'd be giving up the 5 actions in that case. I don't know. Okay, here's someone who could blast the Catholic aspect. The Catholic aspect's already very far in my way, and it's 3 actions. I definitely don't want to keep this, and I don't want to play it for the anti-insanity. Officers recalled. Rebuttal witness General Middleton and Captain Young testified that Real seemed sane. Riel said he knew he could not wage war on Canada and Britain, but he'd hoped to capture Crozier and use him as a hostage to force the government to consider his demands. Okay. And prosecution attorney, this will not give me an objection, but I could unsway something. Maybe the farmers. Or I could throw a bunch of sway markers down, say locking this. Or it's 4 actions, but 4 actions, this would be 4 actions, so maybe? Oh boy. So what do I want to do? Do I want to lock my dude in my favor? He's got 3 deliberation actions. This may be my only way to do this without a response. Do I want to use something this big? Yeah. I'm going to and lock my dude for 4. That means he's going to be arguing in my favor with other people in this same realm. So there's some goodness there, some serious goodness. Okay, and that might help me overcome some of the problems here. Well, definitely don't want to use this guy. He's too valuable. These two are approximately equal. 1 guilty and 1 aspect. 3 aspects except French, all occupation aspects. Oh, this is a little bit freer to play with. I can do the same all occupation. What's this? After playing this card, place it next to the discard pile to show that the officers recalled can be played. That's this. Does this say it can't be? Aha. You cannot use this event unless either Middletown or Holmes Young has been played and their card is next to the discard pile. Okay, I would have never noticed that. But yeah, that's kind of a big deal. Now, I can't use the event, but I could use the 3 points for the card, which I'm actually more interested in, so that's fine. But he doesn't know that that card's there, and he doesn't know that that's desirable. So I am going to play this. I don't know quite where to put it. So I get it up to guilty, as far as it can go, and I get an aspect I can move. Now, here's where I have to look, because can I make this harsher? I don't like where it is. I don't like where it is one bit. So for this, I need to look at I can't argue an aspect if it's locked. Now I have to look at this. An aspect can never be moved below there. They're filled with sway markers, no matter whose. The jury determines the subject is exhausted and it's ordered closed. They cannot no longer sway closed aspect tracks. However, certain events that explicitly allow it may do so. This is weird. This is where I'm hitting a I don't know if so trial in chief events, when you play a card, you do it as stated. If the event allows you to move markers on the aspect track, you do not play sway markers. I have not seen one yet that says you can do this regardless of whether or not it's been swayed. Let's take a look at the closing arguments. Again, you don't play sway markers. See, this is the thing. An event moving a track, this is the problem. An event moving the track has nothing to do with swaying, right? Swaying is these markers here. So I think that I can play this even though this track is moved. I'm not positive though. I'm really not. Who am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I'm over here. I guess. I don't know. Right, because I'm allowed to play this now if I wish to. But 3 actions could be very valuable. 1 insanity. And a point for 3 different things. So insanity is hard to get. This would be a point on all things, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these actions. So that's very, very appealing in addition to everything else that it does. This is weaker. So I am going to bring the defendant on the stand. I don't know if I want to do this yet. If there was an objection, you know, I may want to hold it, because even though I know there's no objection available to him, he doesn't know. So let's look at what we want to do. We have shitty cards here. This one, I don't know. This is a shitty card. I've got like 3 shitty cards. I may be mulliganing. Okay, let's keep going here. Judge dismisses juror, not pleasing. I guess I'm going to use 3 actions here. Now, this doesn't trigger an issue. If I could dismiss, that would be useful. 3. Can't move that. Kind of want to move the farmers, maybe 2 spaces, and lock that in. I don't know if that's wise, but I'm going to do that. Now it kind of doesn't matter about this. I don't have, you know, the rebuttal's been played for something else, so that guy kind of doesn't matter. Now I'm back over here. I've got as much guilt as I want. Government or reduce insanity. I like reducing insanity. I want to keep this for later. It's kind of funny. This card is useful. As a witness, it increases the insanity argument. Indian agent in the Dominion government. Real addressed me as Mr. Agent, he says. I will have to detain you. And he said the rebellion had commenced and they intended fighting until the whole of Saskatchewan Valley were in their hands. I guess if you don't bring him on the stand, you can argue something. I don't know. All right. 1 to each of 3 aspects. I don't know. You know, this is not bad for a final. So we're looking at those. We definitely don't want any of these as my finals. We got 2 things locked. Peek at languages. This guy I definitely do not want to use. Peek at 2 language markers and an insight. Oh, I don't know. Is that going to be terribly helpful to me? To know language? Maybe. Is it worth 3 actions, though? I don't know. I really don't know. You know, peeking early is useful, like especially during jury selection. But now, and then the insight, knowing one of his cards could be hugely valuable. But is it worth burning 3 actions for? Because 3 actions can find me someone that I've got problems with. Or not really problems. Hey, he doesn't look very happy. Let's put a couple there. And for a third one, we have a couple of Catholics and just one Protestant that I'm aware of. Let's bump this up and add some Catholic guilt there. And who did we just play? Oh. We just played a 3-pointer. This one. Yeah. Okay. Back over here, I still have Rael. I don't want to play him because he's dangerous. Do I want to dismiss an English Catholic? That's not very good for me. I don't know, maybe. Peak of traits. And then bad stuff. These are 3 bad cards. Do I want to dismiss or do I want 3 actions is the issue? I think 3 actions is more useful. Okay. What do I know? I know farmers. Farmers are filled. Yeah, that's all I know. All right. For 3 actions, I will get rid of these because I can't let him have that. I'll put another one in Catholic. Whoa! And decrease the guilt. Yeah, it's pretty low. Okay. Puts me over here. Was I happy with these? I was. -1 insanity, this. This guy's 2 actions. This guy, he's not bad. I could do a mulligan here to get rid of, well, gets rid of all your cards. I don't want to get rid of these. Those I want to bank. That's the problem. Which means, do I want to know religion terribly much? Could be useful. Could 2 actions be more useful? I don't know. I will play him because he's not terribly useful to me. I get 2 actions. Do I want to sway? I'll start swaying. Now I could be swaying multiple ones, and it's easier to lock one of these little guys, but I still think I got a shot at trying to lock him for some reason. Oh. Don't want to play that. Okay, this is my handful of garbage that I don't want to play, which means I'm going to play Real, or Real, I don't know. Add an insanity. He doesn't have a defense against this. And 1 for 1 occupation, 1 religion, 1 language. And again, I think I can touch these. Occupation. What do I know about religion? I don't know much. There's 2 Catholics. I'll drop it. Is that safe? Yeah, sure. And then for language, Brits are higher, so we'll drop that. Again, I'm not sure you should be able to do this, but I think we're going to stick with that. You know what? Chicken butt. I'm not going to do Catholic. I'm going to do the Protestants. Okay. That brings me back to the evil prosecutor. These I want to bank. That means I get to play this. Looking at the religions isn't going to help me except for summation. I don't think I really need that. So I'm going to play 2 actions. What do I want to do with my 2 actions? Well, I really want to put it on here. hope for the best. He's going to mulligan. Go. His 2 cards go here. He mulliganed. His cards go away, and he gets 2 back. 1 fewer than just discarded, and those both go in there. I got 1. It's not too bad. It's no special event, so he just gets his sways. This one gives me potential power. 2 to any 3 aspects, except for, I think that means it's going to cause a bad one towards the government and the merchant. Ouch. Okay. All right. That is the end of the trial proper. And I believe of this video. Because now we're going to go to the summations. And I think we've gone far enough on this video to be okay. So I'll be back in a bit.